So I just wanted to get on here and share with you guys my journal entry from when I went on my evening walk. So after going for a walk, a nice way for me to unwind is to write about it. I love writing, and it's just a good way for me to reflect over the walk that I went on. And so I kind of switch up what I write about, but each day, if I think about it, I do kind of like to unwind with pen and paper and just reflect over my walk. And I actually did this on the last page of my season of gratitude notebook. This was one that I made online somewhere, and I just thought it'd be cool to have like my own custom made cover. But I don't know, I think for instance, for the walk that I take tonight, I'm just going to use a notepad that I have, and I'm going to continue using that one until that one's all up. And then from there, I'll figure out like if I want to go this route again or just stick to a notebook. But anyway, so for my walk for March 6th, the first thing that I wrote was, where did I walk today? Today I walked at Parkview DuPont. It is a hospital here in Fort Wayne. I actually originally was going to the DuPont Park, which is across the street from the hospital, but I was not aware that the park was actually closed for winter. It's not a park that I usually go to, but it has a really pretty view, and I thought it'd be cool to switch up where I walk and go there. But when I arrived, they had this huge sign that said the park is closed for the season. So I was like, okay, well, what now? I didn't really want to use too much mental energy, so I was just like, okay, there's a hospital across the street. Let's just go there. So I walked the hospital campus. It's a really beautiful campus. It's pretty new. It's a fairly new area. So I was able to do that. And then next, how long did you walk? I walked for exactly 40 minutes. So this wasn't a brisk walk or anything like that. It was just a way for me to unwind after a day. And so I walked for 40 minutes just around the campus. So I started at 5:00 p.m. and I got done exactly at 5:40. What was the environment like? So there were sidewalks. It wasn't a trail or anything. Again, this was just a hospital. So the sidewalks were really new. You could tell that they keep up with their sidewalks because there were no cracks or anything, which was nice. The noise level was pretty quiet. There weren't too many people out. I could see the bare trees. It is still winter, even though it's March. So all the trees are still bare. There was actually light music playing in some of the areas of the campus, so I was able to hear a little bit of soft jazz music, which I thought was really peaceful and cool at one point throughout the walk. As it got a little bit darker, towards closer to 5:40-ish, it was getting a little dark outside, so they ended up turning on some lights in the garden area. It's kind of like a garden. I'll post a video actually of the walk so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but the lights were really pretty. They were those dim lights, that people put outside so that way you can still see when it's dark out. So it really added an ambiance feeling. The moon was starting to peak. It was practically a full moon. We were actually going to be having a full moon the very next day. So it was pretty full, like 99% full, which was really beautiful. I was able to see the sunset. Sunset was also gorgeous. It was like an orange and blue. The landscape and lawn around the entire campus was absolutely gorgeous. They definitely take time to make sure that the campus is beautiful looking. There was no trash out and about. Very, very clean. What was the weather like? So the weather was gray skies. It was a very cloudy-ish day. It was raining at a couple points in the walk. It did actually start to rain. I had to put my hood up at a couple different points in the walk because of the rain. It wasn't really too windy though, which made it pretty pleasant. And it was about 30, I think it was about 35, no, it was 40 degrees. Because I thought it was 35, but I usually think it's warmer than what it is because I wear long johns and things like that. So, and of course when you're walking it feels a little bit warmer, but it was about 40 degrees. So that is pretty nice. Was anyone else walking? So in terms of walking for leisure, I saw one other person. He was walking the trail. They did have a trail on the outskirts of the hospital. I did not walk the trail, but throughout different parts of my walk, I was able to see the trail, and I did see one guy walking. And then also I would see employees coming in and out of the hospital. And then of course, patients were coming in and out of the hospital as well. Will you go walking there again, and why? So like I said, this was my first time walking there. Usually the hospital wouldn't be my first choice to choose to walk somewhere, but it was really nice. I will definitely go walking there again. I think the next time I go walking there, so probably tomorrow, I will try to walk a little bit later in the evening, so like right at sunset. That way I can really catch the moon, can really get a feel for how it is to walk when it's dark out and all the lights are off. I think that would be very peaceful, and still be able to hear like that jazz music in the evening. And don't worry, it is a very safe campus. There were police and security guards driving around. There weren't really people lingering around or anything like that, so I have no problem feeling safe if I were to do that in the evening when it's a little bit darker out. Just to give you an idea, the hospital is right off of the highway, so it's not like in a downtown area or anything where people are just lingering about. So yeah, it was a really neat, peaceful area to walk. Honestly, I was kind of glad the park was closed because it wouldn't have been a place I probably would have considered to walk. Had that park been open, I probably would have never thought twice about, going to walk over there. But it made for a really interesting walk. It wasn't one that was full with like a lot of nature or anything like that, but there were a couple gardens which were really nice. The one garden, like I said, was playing jazz music, so that was neat. And then the other garden kind of had little statues. Wasn't a whole lot going on. It is winter, so there weren't beautiful flowers or anything like that. But we can appreciate, all seasons, right? And then in terms of just the overall walk, it was really fun. I enjoyed myself. Like I said, I got in an hour walk, and it just lifted my mood up so much. I can't wait to go again tomorrow. I'm still debating if I'm going to go to that hospital again tomorrow. I probably will, just because I do want to see how that it is to walk there in the evening when the sky is dim and the lights are off. And plus, it'll be a full moon, so I'm pretty excited about that. So stay tuned. I will drop a video of the walk, and I will let you guys know if I end up walking